We all know that feeling, that gnawing sense of being on the outside looking in, like you're peering through a window at a world of comfort, ease, and privilege that seems impossibly distant. That's the stark reality for the Kim family. They're not just struggling, they're practically subterranean, existing in a cramped, damp, semi-basement apartment. Imagine the ever-present smell of mildew, the constant battle against invading insects, the shame of knowing your living situation is a source of embarrassment. That's their daily life, folding pizza boxes for a pittance, desperately searching for a stray Wi-Fi signal, and constantly battling the indignity of their circumstances. They're resourceful, undeniably clever, but also deeply, profoundly desperate for a change. They're a family of hustlers, each member contributing to the relentless grind. Kiwoo, the son, is intelligent and ambitious, but lacks the connections and opportunities readily available to those born into affluence. Ki-jung, his sister, is sharp-witted and artistically gifted, but her talents are stifled by their limited resources. Mr. Kim, the father, is a former driver, his pride wounded by his current, less dignified employment. And Chung-suk, the mother, is tough and resilient, a pragmatist who holds the family together with her unwavering strength and sheer determination. Their existence is a perpetual struggle against the elements, against the crushing weight of poverty, against the gnawing feeling of being less than, of being invisible to the world above. They live in the shadows, both literally and figuratively, while the world above them enjoys the warmth and light of privilege. But the Kims aren't simply passive victims of circumstance. They're opportunists. They possess a keen eye for weakness, a knack for spotting cracks in the system they can exploit. They're always searching for a way up, a chance to break free from the suffocating confines of their basement existence. And then, a crack appears in the wall. Kiwoo's friend, a university student, is going abroad and recommends Kiwoo for a tutoring position with the wealthy Park family. It's a golden ticket, a chance to glimpse the world they so desperately crave, a world of manicured lawns, designer furniture, and carefree laughter. There's just one minor, easily surmountable obstacle. Kiwoo isn't a university graduate, but in the Kim family's world, rules are often bent and corners are always cut. With a meticulously forged diploma and a carefully constructed persona, Kiwoo, now Kevin, confidently steps into the Park's pristine architect-designed home. The Parks are the polar opposite of the Kims. Wealthy, comfortable, seemingly untouched by the harsh realities of life. They inhabit a sprawling, meticulously designed house, a universe away from the Kims' cramped, subterranean dwelling. They're polite, if a tad naive, and utterly oblivious to the Kims' true circumstances. Kiwoo, with his natural charm and quick wit, effortlessly ingratiates himself with Da-hee, the Park's teenage daughter. He's not simply teaching her English, he's meticulously studying the Parks, learning their routines, their habits, their vulnerabilities. He's like a reconnaissance scout, meticulously mapping out the terrain for a larger, more audacious invasion. And Kiwoo cleverly plants the suggestion that Da-song, the Park's younger son, could greatly benefit from art therapy. And who better to provide such therapy than his exceptionally talented sister, Ki-jung. Jessica, as she's now known, arrives on the scene, armed with a fabricated degree and an air of sophisticated confidence. She's a master of observation, swiftly assessing Da-song's quirky personality and skillfully manipulating his parents' anxieties. She's not just an art therapist, she's another strategic piece of the puzzle, another parasite discreetly attaching itself to the unsuspecting host. The Kims' audacious plan is unfolding with remarkable precision. They operate like a well-oiled machine, each member seamlessly playing their designated role with cunning and calculated precision. But they're not content with just two members inside the Park household. They crave the entire pie. They orchestrate the dismissal of the Park's long-serving driver, subtly framing him for inappropriate conduct, and who's conveniently waiting in the wings to assume his position. Mr. Kim, naturally, projecting an air of newfound authority and unwavering reliability. The final crucial piece of the puzzle is the housekeeper, Moon Gwang. She's been a fixture in the Park's home for years, a seemingly indispensable part of their lives. But the Kims perceive her as a potential threat, a reminder of the outside world, a possible obstacle to their complete and unchallenged takeover. Through a cunningly devised scheme involving a fabricated peach allergy and a perfectly timed emotional breakdown, they managed to get her dismissed, paving the way for Chung-suk to seamlessly step into her shoes. Now, the transformation is complete. The Kim family has flawlessly infiltrated every facet of the Park's existence. They're no longer confined to the shadows. They're basking in the radiant glow of privilege. reaping the rewards of someone else's labor. They're living a life they could only dream of before. They're parasites, meticulously feeding off the unsuspecting host family, inhabiting a life that was once utterly unimaginable. But their meticulously crafted parasitic existence is inherently fragile, built on a foundation of lies, deception, and carefully constructed facades. It's a precarious house of cards, constantly on the verge of collapsing with the slightest gust of wind. And that disruptive wind arrives in the form of a sudden torrential downpour. The park's unexpected return from a hastily canceled camping trip throws the Kims' carefully orchestrated world into utter disarray. They frantically scramble to conceal their tracks, their meticulously crafted personas teetering on the brink of exposure. And then, Moon Guang unexpectedly returns. She's not just back. She's desperate, driven by a secret she can no longer contain. She reveals a shocking truth, a truth that shatters the illusion of the park's idyllic existence. Concealed beneath their pristine, modern house is a hidden bunker, a secret chamber where Moon Guang's husband has been living in seclusion for years, desperately evading relentless loan sharks. The established dynamic shifts dramatically, irrevocably. The Kims are no longer the sole parasites inhabiting this ecosystem. They're not just feeding off the parks. They're now competing with another family for the same unsuspecting host. A brutal, desperate struggle ensues. A battle for survival between two families vying for the limited scraps of privilege. The film's tone takes a sharp, unsettling turn, transitioning from dark, satirical comedy to something far more sinister, more violent, more primal. The climax unfolds at Da Song's lavish birthday celebration, a scene of opulent festivity that abruptly descends into bloody, chaotic mayhem. The simmering tensions between the two families, the deep-seated class resentment, the desperate yearning for a better life, all erupt in a shocking, visceral explosion of violence. Mr. Kim, witnessing Mr. Park's instinctive, visceral disgust at the smell of the lower classes, the smell that clings to those who dwell in the shadows, the smell he knows all too well, finally snaps. He commits an act of shocking, irrevocable violence, an act that shatters the delicate, precarious balance of their parasitic world. The aftermath leaves the Kim family irrevocably shattered, scattered, and broken. Ki-woo, in a final, desperate, almost delusional act of hope, vows to earn enough money to purchase the house, to liberate his father from his subterranean prison. But the ending is intentionally ambiguous, hauntingly unresolved. It leaves the audience with a lingering sense of unease, a profound question that hangs heavy in the air. Can the Kims ever truly escape the confines of their basement existence? Or are they perpetually trapped in a seemingly endless cycle of poverty, forever gazing up at a world that seems tantalizingly close, yet ultimately impossibly far? Parasite isn't simply a movie. It's a chilling mirror, reflecting the uncomfortable, often brutal truths about class disparity, relentless ambition, and the desperate, often morally compromising lengths people will go to for a fleeting taste of the good life. It's a film that lingers long after the credits roll, compelling you to confront your own potential complicity in a system that perpetuates inequality. It's a masterpiece of social commentary, cleverly disguised as a darkly comedic thriller. And it's a story that resonates so deeply because in some way, we've all felt like we're living in the basement, perpetually looking up at the world of the privileged. It's a story about the haves and have-nots, about the lengths people will go to for a slice of the pie, and about the devastating consequences when those lines are blurred. It's a film that will stay with you, unsettling and thought-provoking, long after you've seen it.